Have you ever felt like a small boat lost in the vast ocean of social connections, yearning to find an anchor in the hearts and minds of those around you? In the swirl of invisible digital connections, where thousands of voices compete to be heard, it's easy to feel lost, ignored, and unappreciated. But what if I told you that there is a timeless philosophy that can be your compass, helping you become more than just a face in the crowd, but someone who truly matters to those around you? Get ready for this journey. Where ancient wisdom meets modern life, we will delve into the art of becoming a priority in the lives of others, not through manipulation or mind games, but through the deep and true principles of Confucian philosophy. Join me as we explore how to be a light in the sea of relationships, bright enough to be appreciated and loved. If you are ready to unlock these secrets, hit that subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and watch until the end. Cherish every moment, because every second of this journey can be the key to transforming your relationships. Step 1. Context and problem. In our quest for meaning in the complex mosaic of social relationships, we often face a sad imbalance: the feeling that we always respect others more than ourselves. This awareness is often clouded by feelings of inferiority, making us feel undervalued. This leads us to a deep exploration of self-worth through Stoicism, an ancient philosophy full of wisdom. Stoicism offers us a beacon of light in difficult situations. Rooted in the thinking of philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, this philosophy emphasizes internal control. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius observed, "You have power over your own mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find power." This quote is a profound reflection of the Stoic belief that true worth and fulfillment come not from external validation, but from within. It is an important reminder that our worth is not tied to the opinions or judgments of others. While awareness of others is important, it is more important to be aware of ourselves and our ability to heal from within. Seneca, one of the core thinkers of Stoicism, emphasized self-confidence and internal growth. He once said, "If a man does not know where he is going, no wind is favorable." This quote emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and understanding one's values and goals in the context of social relationships. It suggests that knowing yourself and your values is the first step to being properly valued by others. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, also encouraged us to strive for inner freedom, regardless of external circumstances. He believed that understanding and accepting what we can control is the key to living a meaningful and peaceful life. With its emphasis on distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot, Stoicism reinforces a self-centered approach. Epictetus argues that we should focus on what is within our power, such as our own reactions, attitudes, and actions, and let go of our concern for how others perceive us. This detachment frees us, empowering us to cultivate our own self-worth without being dependent on the opinions of others. The Stoic approach of finding value within oneself is very similar to many contemporary psychological theories, including the work of Carl Jung, a deeply influential psychologist. Jung also emphasized the importance of knowing ourselves and developing our true selves, which helps us build meaningful and fulfilling lives. In the field of psychology, it has been emphasized that the greatest privilege of life is to become the most authentic version of ourselves. This ties in with the Stoic principle of real living, where true value and happiness are found when we live in accordance with our nature and virtue. To put this discovery into practice, to enhance our significance in the lives of others, we can look to the rich roots of Stoicism and the broader philosophical landscape for practical approaches. The focus here is not on manipulation or systematic tactics. Rather, it is on cultivating a wise and sincere approach to building relationships. In the context of values and authenticity, Stoicism emphasizes the wisdom of understanding and controlling what is within our control. As Epictetus once said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them, especially in the context of relationships. This means that we should focus on our own actions, reactions, and the true nature of our interactions with others. By doing so, we can enhance the quality of our presence in the lives of those around us. In order for others to truly appreciate and value us, Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of authenticity in our interactions. He advised that instead of wasting time arguing about who a good person should be, simply be a good person. This speaks to the core of building valuable relationships, which is being a genuinely good person and staying true to your principles in every interaction. When we demonstrate the qualities we admire, we naturally attract people who respect and appreciate those qualities, creating a solid foundation for meaningful relationships. To build meaningful and lasting relationships, Seneca's teachings on the brevity of life and the importance of living in harmony with nature remind us to value the time we share with others. He says that if we live well, life will be long enough. This emphasizes the importance of being fully present and deeply involved in our interactions. When we give our relationships our full attention and sincerity, we send the message that the people around us matter to us. This not only invites appreciation from them, but also helps deepen our relationship with them. The application of Stoic principles is also reflected in a broader philosophical context, particularly in Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia, which is personal growth and happiness through virtuous actions that make up a good life, especially in the area of relationships. This is expressed through engaging in genuine, meaningful, and respectful interactions. By striving for personal excellence in the way we treat others, we not only foster valuable relationships, but also contribute to our own happiness and fulfillment. Carl Jung's insights into psychology brought a more creative approach. He believed in the power of individuation, that is, the process of becoming aware of ourselves and the world around us. Jung once said that the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemicals. If there is any reaction, both will be transformed. This perspective encourages us to enter into relationships as whole, self-aware individuals with the capacity for deep connection, thereby transforming and enriching both parties. The next step is to consider the tenets of Stoic philosophy. This philosophy focuses on living authentically and taking control of what is within our power, which contributes to building sincere and lasting relationships. When we combine these tenets with Jung's insights, we can create, deeply rooted in the wisdom of thinkers such as Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, Stoic philosophy offers insight into the nature of relationships and self-worth. The saying, "Tell me your friends and I will tell you who you are," not only reflects the impact of our social circle on our identity, but also emphasizes the importance of conditional choice in relationships. Stoicism emphasizes the value we assign to ourselves and how this value is reflected in our interactions with others. Marcus Aurelius, in his teachings, encouraged us to maintain relationships with virtuous people, as this not only shapes our character, but also strengthens our personal values and how we relate to the world. A famous Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of self-reflection in understanding one's value in relationships. He believed that true value should be found by looking within, rather than seeking external validation. Marcus Aurelius is famous for saying that a man's worth is measured by the value he places on himself. This highlights the Stoic principle that self-worth should not be overly dependent on the perceptions or preferences of others, but rather on our own deep understanding of our true worth. This philosophy encourages each person to live according to the principles and virtues they believe in, which in turn leads to a more meaningful and self-sufficient life. Seneca, another famous Stoic figure, emphasized the balance between being social beings and maintaining personal independence. He advised that we associate with people who can make us better. This suggests that relying too much on others to define our self-worth can lead to unfulfilling relationships. Instead, we should cultivate relationships based on mutual respect, where we can each grow and become better together while still maintaining our own autonomy and self-worth. This is consistent with the Stoic principle of self-realization and self-worth, not based on external validation, but on our own understanding and growth. Epictetus, famous for his teachings on self-control and acceptance, also touched on this topic. He emphasizes that while we cannot choose our external circumstances, we can always choose how we respond to them internally. When applied to relationships, this means that we need to understand that we will not always be the first priority of others, and that is okay. What we can control is how we respond to these perceptions and how we evaluate ourselves. Western philosophy and psychology echo these sentiments. Aristotle spoke of the middle way, which emphasizes balance in all aspects of life, including relationships. Mutual growth and respect are at the heart of a healthy relationship, where each person can grow on their own without becoming overly dependent on the other. This creates stability and sustainability, encouraging both parties to grow and respect each other. Where does the virtue lie in finding the balance between valuing yourself and valuing others in a relationship? According to renowned psychologist Carl Jung, personal growth and healthy relationships are fostered when we understand and integrate different aspects of ourselves. This means that when we are clear about our own worth and at the same time respect the worth of others, we create a healthy balance in our relationships. The next step is to take concrete actions to increase esteem in our relationships. Stoicism offers a pragmatic approach, focusing on managing our presence and availability. This philosophy advises us to control the factors within our control, including how we interact and react in relationships. By maintaining a calm demeanor, being clear about our worth, and respecting others, we not only uphold our personal values, but also build relationships based on mutual respect and support. Stoic philosophy, with deep roots in the wisdom of thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, emphasizes that self-esteem should not depend on external validation, but rather should come from understanding and accepting ourselves. When we do this in our relationships, we create a safe and growing space for both parties, where the virtue of balancing self-esteem and respect for others comes naturally. Like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca and Epictetus provided important guidance on how to navigate social interactions with grace and clear intention. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, emphasized the importance of valuing one's time and presence. He taught that time is one of the few things we can control in a world governed by external fate and circumstances. By managing our presence and availability, we send a message to others about the value we place on our time. This not only helps us maintain our self-esteem, but also increases our value to others. Aurelius believed that being skillful in how we use our time and present ourselves in relationships is key to building mutual respect and understanding. When we learn to consciously manage our time and presence, we not only maintain our personal worth, but also build deeper and more meaningful relationships. According to the principle of purposeful action, making conscious decisions about how to spend our time and how to communicate with others is important. Seneca, another famous Stoic philosopher, gave similar advice. He encouraged us to be selective in how we associate with and spend our time. Seneca's teachings suggest that when we actively withdraw our presence, we allow others to more fully appreciate our worth. Seneca writes that true happiness, not by pursuing frivolous desires, but by letting them go, finding relaxation, and letting go of worries. This relaxation is not about completely withdrawing from society, but about knowing how to control ourselves and not be dominated by external pressures. By not catering to unnecessary needs, we can live a more meaningful life where our presence is respected and appreciated by others. This also helps us maintain inner peace and feel true happiness in life. The need for social recognition is a constant factor in life, but understanding the power of absence can help strengthen our relationships. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control. He believed that only education and self-awareness can bring true freedom, especially in the context of relationships. This education includes understanding that we have the power to manage our time and attention. By taking control of our presence and availability, we assert our freedom and self-esteem. This not only helps us maintain balance and independence in our relationships, but also makes others appreciate and respect us more. Stoic philosophy and Western psychology both emphasize that a clear sense of self-worth and the ability to control the elements at our disposal are the foundation for a free and meaningful life. When we take control of our presence, we not only create space for personal growth, but also foster appreciation and genuine connection in our relationships. These principles are also reinforced by the thinking of Aristotle, who spoke of the middle way, which advocates balance in all aspects of life, including social interactions. This means finding a balance between being available and being completely unreachable. Maintaining this balance ensures that we do not become so caught up in serving others that we forget about ourselves, but also do not become too distant or unapproachable. Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung emphasized the importance of individuation, that is, understanding and integrating each person's needs and limitations. This self-awareness leads to healthier interactions where a person's time and presence are valued in real terms. Jung encouraged us to know ourselves well enough to know when to be present and when to withdraw, thus creating balance in relationships. This balance between being present and keeping our distance, along with self-awareness of our own needs, helps us build lasting and meaningful relationships where both parties feel respected and appreciated. To be more valued by others, we can start by managing our presence wisely. This is not about playing mind games or being aloof, but about respecting our own time and teaching others to do the same. When we are skillful in making ourselves known, we create a healthy dynamic where our presence is valued and expected. It is important to remember that the goal is not to control others or manipulate the outcomes of relationships, but to manage our own actions and considered the core of inner peace and strength. In this context, patience is not just about waiting, but also about actively accepting and adjusting the mind to face life's challenges. This allows us to maintain mental stability, overcome obstacles with calmness, and realize that true strength comes from the ability to control our thoughts and reactions, not from controlling external factors. This patience, when practiced, becomes an invaluable strength that helps us face life with serenity and resilience. The essence of patience is not passively waiting for circumstances to change, but maintaining a calm and growing mindset regardless of what challenges life throws at us. Seneca, a brilliant Stoic thinker, expressed similar sentiments. He saw patience as a conscious resistance to the relentless tides of life, a way to maintain dignity and grace under pressure. Seneca encouraged that the best antidote to anger is procrastination, suggesting that patience is a deliberate choice to pause and reflect rather than react impulsively. For him, patience is not just about enduring, but a method to protect and maintain personal integrity, avoiding hasty decisions that can lead to undesirable consequences. Patience, according to Seneca, is an art that must be practiced. It not only helps us face difficulties, but also keeps our minds clear so that we can make more constructive responses and decisions. In all circumstances, instead of letting our emotions dominate, patience allows us to control ourselves, thereby building a peaceful and meaningful life. This method of patience is not passive, but an active engagement with our emotions. It requires us to master our impulses and control them in order to make thoughtful responses. Epictetus, known for his practical wisdom, emphasized the division in his teachings of control. He argued that while we cannot control external events, we have absolute power over our responses. Patience, from this perspective, is an expression of inner control. It is a serene affirmation of our capacity to endure and persevere. Epictetus asserted that no one is free who is not master of himself. This suggests that true freedom comes not from controlling the world around us, but from mastering our minds and our responses to circumstances that cannot be changed. Patience, therefore, is not only a virtue, but also a powerful tool that helps us maintain freedom and peace of mind. When we actively choose to be patient, we not only control our emotions, but also create a stable state of mind, undisturbed by external events. This allows us to face all the challenges of life calmly and effectively. Emphasizing that true freedom comes from self-mastery, of which patience is an important component, is a profound idea in both Western philosophy and psychology. Patience is not only consistent with the ideal of emotional control and resilience, but also an expression of self-control and equanimity in the face of life's fluctuations. Aristotle, with his concept of the middle way, advocated a balanced approach to life, in which patience is seen as the balance between passive action and hasty impulsiveness. He believed that virtue lies in maintaining moderation, and patience is the way to achieve it, avoiding extremes and keeping the mind clear. Carl Jung, with his focus on individuation and self-realization, also harmonized with the Stoic practice of patience. Jung believed that understanding and integrating the different aspects of ourselves helps us develop a steadfast mind, where patience becomes an important tool for maintaining balance and personal growth. From both a philosophical and psychological perspective, patience is not only a virtue, but also a means for us to master ourselves, helping us to face life effectively and calmly. It is the balance between accepting reality and acting thoughtfully, creating a free and meaningful life. By understanding and managing our emotions, we not only achieve a deep level of self-awareness, but also stay young in spirit. This enhances our ability to interact with others and our environment in a more productive and positive way. In a modern context, practicing patience means being in the present moment without being pressured by the need for immediate results or instant reactions. Rather than letting ourselves be swept away by the fast pace and chaos of the world around us, patience helps us maintain calm and balance. Qualities. This not only helps us navigate life with clarity, but also makes us more attractive to others because of the confidence and stability it brings. People are often attracted to individuals who are able to maintain composure in all circumstances, as it reflects a strong inner strength and the ability to cope with any challenge. Patience, therefore, is not only a personal virtue, but also an important factor in building deep and lasting relationships. Resilience in the face of adversity is an important part of Stoic philosophy, and the next step in building a balanced life is self-prioritization. In the realm of Stoicism, the practice of self-prioritization is not only encouraged, but also seen as a necessary factor in maintaining balance and stability in life. This concept is not only present in Stoic philosophy, but is also found in many Western philosophical and psychological ideas, emphasizing the importance of respecting oneself in order to receive respect from others. Marcus Aurelius, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, recognized the importance of respecting oneself. He is famous for his view that if you don't respect yourself, no one else will respect you. This emphasizes that our self-worth is not only determined by how we view and treat ourselves, but also how we present ourselves to the world. Prioritizing ourselves does not mean being selfish, but knowing how to balance our own needs with those of others. When we respect and care for ourselves, we become stronger, thereby being able to face life's challenges more effectively. This also helps us build relationships based on mutual respect, where both parties are valued. This quote emphasizes the core Stoic belief that self-respect is the foundation for how others perceive and treat us. When we prioritize our needs and learn to say no, we communicate to others that our time and energy are valuable and worthy of respect. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, also discussed the virtue of self-care. He believed that self-care was essential to living a fulfilling life. Seneca wrote, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short. We are not given insufficient time, but we waste it." His implication is that by not prioritizing ourselves, we are devaluing the life we have. This means that not knowing how to care for and respect ourselves will lead to us wasting precious opportunities and time, making life short and meaningless. Self-prioritization and self-care are not only personal actions, but also ways for us to establish our value in the eyes of others, which in turn leads to more balanced and fulfilling relationships and lives. We ourselves can lead a wasted life if we do not know how to say no when necessary. By managing our resources wisely, we not only live a quality life in terms of time, but also in terms of relationships and personal endeavors. Epictetus placed a special emphasis on the concept of control, especially how we control our actions and choices. He taught that what matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. This idea is important in understanding self-priority. When we choose to prioritize our own needs, we are actively deciding how to respond to the needs of others. In this way, we maintain control over our lives. This not only helps us protect our personal resources, but also ensures that we can focus on what is truly important to us. Knowing when to say no helps us avoid getting caught up in demands or expectations from others that do not align with our personal values or goals. This allows us to build a life free of waste, where every decision and action is directed toward creating real value and quality in our relationships and in our personal growth. From a broader psychological perspective, Carl Jung's concept of the individual fits into this Stoic practice. Jung believed in the importance of understanding ourselves as an individual separate from the collective. According to him, prioritizing oneself is an important step towards achieving individuation, a process that helps each person develop a stronger personality, respected and appreciated by others. This also enables us to build a harmonious life where both ourselves and our social relationships are balanced. Aristotle's concept of the middle way between two extremes also supports the idea of prioritizing self. Aristotle taught that virtue lies in finding balance, not going too far in either direction. In the context of putting ourselves first, this means that we need to find a balance between caring for our own needs and meeting the expectations of others. Both Carl Jung and Aristotle emphasize that understanding and respecting ourselves is the foundation for developing a strong character and building healthy relationships. When we find this balance, not only do we become stronger and more confident ourselves, but we also create an environment in which mutual respect and understanding can flourish. Improving the balance between our own needs and the needs of others is an important factor in maintaining a healthy and harmonious life. Saying no is not a selfish act, but a necessary practice for maintaining balance. By applying the principles of Stoicism and this philosophy, we learn that putting ourselves first is not just a right, but a necessary step to being valued and respected by others. This teaches us how to manage our personal resources effectively, from time to effort, and sets standards for how others should treat us. When we demonstrate that we value our own time and effort, we naturally inspire others to do the same. Setting healthy boundaries and putting ourselves first helps us create an environment of mutual respect where relationships are built on a foundation of balance, understanding, and appreciation. Acting with self-respect not only benefits our mental and emotional health, but also strengthens our social and professional relationships. Having self-respect helps us build a strong life, where relationships are shaped by mutual respect and deep understanding. Step 7. Time management. According to Seneca's teachings, Seneca, a prominent figure in the Stoic school of philosophy, left behind profound insights on the wise use of time. His view on time management is not just about efficiency or productivity, but also about quality of life and making conscious choices. Seneca encourages us to reflect on how we spend our time, not letting it be wasted on activities that do not bring real value. Seneca emphasizes that time management is not simply about organizing work effectively, but about knowing how to spend time on things that are truly important, such as personal development, taking care of mental health, and building meaningful relationships. He advises us to be conscious of every moment of life, because time is the most precious resource we have. In a modern context, Seneca's teachings are still highly applicable. The way we choose to spend our time reflects the value we place on our lives and the people around us. When we manage our time consciously, we not only improve the quality of our lives, but also shape our future in a more positive and meaningful way. Seneca, in his famous essay on the brevity of life, emphasized that the problem is not that we have too little time to live, but that we waste too much of it. He asserted that life is long enough, and we have been given a generous amount of time to achieve our highest achievements if we invest our time wisely. This quote reflects the Stoic view that time is our most precious resource, and once it is gone, we can never get it back. Wasting time is a great mistake because it is the only asset that we cannot replace or buy back. Seneca advises us to be selective in how we spend our time, including the people we spend time with, and how we allocate our time to our daily activities. Seneca's message emphasizes that our time is a limited and precious resource and should therefore be used wisely and purposefully. When we are clear about the value of time and learn to manage it effectively, we can create a meaningful life and achieve the results we desire. This is also at the core of Stoic philosophy, where every moment is valued and used to move towards a full and worthwhile life. This Stoic principle is consistent with the thinking of Aristotle, who believed in the importance of pursuing activities that enrich the soul. Aristotle taught that eudaimonia, or holistic development and lasting happiness, is the highest goal of human beings. This can only be achieved by living a virtuous life and engaging in activities that express our true nature. By managing our time wisely, we can spend more time with others, more time for activities that contribute to personal growth and happiness, pursuing things that give true meaning. Plato, another great philosopher, also emphasized the importance of spending time on noble activities such as reflection, learning, and intellectual development. Both Plato and Aristotle believe that the good life is not only about achieving external goals, but also about cultivating the inner and spiritual through the rational and purposeful use of time. Combining the views of Seneca, Aristotle, and Plato, we see that time should be used to pursue activities that make us better, thereby creating a fulfilling and happy life. Time management is not only a practical skill, but also a means to achieve comprehensive spiritual and moral development. Self-reflection and personal development are core elements of a meaningful life. Socrates, a famous Greek philosopher, once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." In this context, wise time management involves making time for introspection and reflection, which helps us better understand ourselves and our place in the world. This not only helps us grow as individuals, but also contributes to long-term balance and happiness. From a psychological perspective, Carl Jung's concept of the individual also strongly supports the idea of wise time management. Jung emphasized the importance of personal growth and self-awareness. He believed that by choosing how we spend our time, we can engage in meaningful activities that help us access our authentic selves and develop a more well-rounded personality. Effective time management is not only about organizing our daily tasks scientifically, but also includes creating space for reflection and inner growth. When we take the time to reflect, evaluate, and adjust our lives, we not only improve the quality of our lives, but we also promote sustainable personal growth. This is the key to achieving a fulfilling life, where both the inner and outer are in harmony. Focusing on what is within our control is an important element of personal and psychological development. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of focusing on the things we can control. He taught that we should not waste time on things that are beyond our control, but instead focus on our own actions and choices. This time management approach is about making conscious decisions that reflect our values and goals in order to create a fulfilling and meaningful life. Step 8. Self-mastery. Epictetus, famous for his insights into the nature of happiness and the good life, makes a compelling argument for the importance of self-mastery. He believed that true happiness comes from mastering ourselves and realizing that we have control over how we respond to every situation in life. Self-mastery, he argued, is the foundation of happiness and the key to living a worthwhile life. Epictetus argued that when we understand what is within our control, such as our attitudes, thoughts, and reactions, we can avoid feeling helpless and unaffected by external factors. Instead, we focus on shaping our lives according to the values and goals we hold dear. This not only helps us manage our time more effectively, but also contributes to building strong character and a meaningful life. Self-mastery, according to Epictetus, is the ability to control ourselves, shape our lives according to our own will, and maintain our steadfastness in the face of challenges. When we achieve self-mastery, we not only control our time and energy, but also create a life built on the foundation of true peace and happiness. The essence of true freedom, according to Epictetus, lies in the ability to master ourselves. He asserted that no one can be free who is not master of himself, which encompasses a fundamental tenet of self-mastery and internal control. This concept has its roots in the philosophy of Epicurus, who emphasized the importance of controlling our decisions and emotions as a path to self-worth and self-mastery. Although Epicurus' philosophy differs from Stoicism, both share the strategy that inner peace and freedom depend on self-mastery. Epicurus believed that true joy lies not in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures, but in the absence of pain and mental disturbance. Joy, he said, is a state of mental peace, maintained through the control of desires and emotions. The philosophies of Epicurus and Epictetus both aim to achieve inner freedom through Step 8. Self-mastery. Epictetus, famous for his insights into the nature of happiness and the good life, makes a compelling argument for the importance of self-mastery. He believed that true happiness comes from mastering ourselves and realizing that we have control over how we respond to every situation in life. Self-mastery, he argued, is the foundation of happiness and the key to living a worthwhile life. Epictetus argued that when we understand what is within our control, such as our attitudes, thoughts, and reactions, we can avoid feeling helpless and unaffected by external factors. Instead, we focus on shaping our lives according to the values and goals we hold dear. This not only helps us manage our time more effectively, but also contributes to building strong character and a meaningful life. Self-mastery, according to Epictetus, is the ability to control ourselves, shape our lives according to our own will, and maintain our steadfastness in the face of challenges. When we achieve self-mastery, we not only control our time and energy, but also create a life built on the foundation of true peace and happiness. The essence of true freedom, according to Epictetus, lies in the ability to master ourselves. He asserted that no one can be free who is not master of himself, which encompasses a fundamental tenet of self-mastery and internal control. This concept has its roots in the philosophy of Epicurus, who emphasized the importance of controlling our decisions and emotions as a path to self-worth and self-mastery. Although Epicurus' philosophy differs from Stoicism, both share the strategy that inner peace and freedom depend on self-mastery. Epicurus believed that true joy lies not in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures, but in the absence of pain and mental disturbance. Joy, he said, is a state of mental peace, maintained through the control of desires and emotions. The philosophies of Epicurus and Epictetus both aim to achieve inner freedom through. In the field of psychology, Carl Jung also emphasized the importance of personal growth and self-awareness. Jung believed that awareness of the inner world and the integration of different aspects of the personality would lead to psychological integrity and autonomy. This process involves understanding and managing our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, similar to what Epictetus and the Stoics always advocated. Plato's philosophy also emphasizes the importance of self-management. In his dialogues, Plato often explores the theme that self-mastery is a prerequisite for mastery over others. He suggests that the ability to control one's passions and emotions is essential to a harmonious and virtuous life. As we conclude this exploration, remember that the journey to inner mastery and freedom is a step-by-step path. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the best revenge is not to be like the one who has done injustice. This reminds us to strive to master our own lives, not to be governed by the emotions or opinions of others, but to be guided by our own virtue and wisdom. Thank you for joining me on this profound journey through Stoic wisdom and philosophical thought. If you wish to delve deeper into the world of self-discovery, stay tuned for more rich content to guide you on your path to personal growth and inner peace. Stay wise, stay curious, and continue to explore philosophy and self-improvement.